Pero may lumabas sa poll today, WR numero, where apparently the poll numbers of the president went down.
Oo.
So how do you account for this?
Ako, tingin ko, dahil siya ang presidente at dahil siya ang inaasahan ng madaming tao na meron talagang maging maayos na tugon dito sa kanyang binuksan na usapin nga ng corruption, a lot of people, I feel, are frustrated at yung kabagalan nung pace. And kailan ba nagsimula to? July, di ba? So mga August, September, October, November, halos mag-aapat na buwan na tayong living under the cloud nitong skandalong ito. And napaka limited pa ng mga gains sa pwedeng ipakita ng administrasyon. Wala pa nga nakukulong. Araw-araw, meron akong nakikita mga nagpo-post sa social media. Oh, December 1 na. Bakit wala pang nakukulong? Diba? Parang may ganong sentimento eh. So ako, feeling ko, yung disappointment dun sa ganitong ay nakaka-apekto. Pero kung meron mang madideliver na resulta, gaya ng kanyang pinangako before Christmas, baka magkaroon ng bagong pananaw.
Alam mo, this is a comms issue. I wish Abby was here because my point is, if you keep on showing pictures or videos of flood control na palpak,
mga pera-perang
let's separate that first. Let's separate that first. Yung flood control, yung mga projects na palpak.
Okay.
Na ghost projects or substandard, hindi ba nauumay yung tao? Kaya parang alongside that, walang nangyayari. So does it present a parang pag every day you see those pictures of those lousy flood control, don't you feel this is such a bad optics for government? That's why you tend to blame the president for that.
Ako, hindi sa umay, kundi lalong
Wait, tama bang gamit ko ng Tagalog na umay?
Umay, parang kasawa ka eh, di ba?
Tama. Okay.
So, ano tawag dito? Ako, ang feeling ko, hindi pa sa umay, pero doon sa lalong napapaalala sa mga tao na grabe yung lawak nitong nangyaring ito. Pero, sa kabila nun, ba't parang walang nangyayari? Ba't wala pang napapanagot? Ba't wala pang naaresto?
So,
yun eh.
Pag ganun yan, yung purpose ni Pangulong Marcos to show every day and report every day on TV is not doing well.
Kung mag-report ka kasi, tas parang wala namang masyadong actual deliverable, after a while, sabihin ng mga tao, wala.
So what do you suggest how the president should be handling this?
Ako, he should go big. Ibig sabihin, kapag meron na talagang nahuli, yun yung merong pagmamalaki. And the president, actually, shouldn't be the one engaged in managing expectations. Kasi ilang beses ko nang narinig yan, sasabihin niya, mabagal talaga ang pag-build up ng kaso. Maaaring totoo. Totoo naman yun. Abogado tayo pareho. Alam naman natin na talagang malaking trabaho para ikaw ay makapag-build ng matibay na kaso na ipa-file mo sa korte. Pero hindi yun ang gustong marinig ng tao mula sa presidente. Diba? Yung
What do you expect the president to say?
The president should be decisive.
Announcing the results.
Gusto ko no, sinabi niya halimbawang may makukulong bago mag-December. Tama yun. Yun yung that sets a date, that sets an expectation. That shows na merong pero yung naintindihan naman nyo, talagang
What if the president announces the arrest of Bato de la Rosa? Would that...
Ayun, di ba? Merong yun. Merong tingin ko, yan yung mga importanteng mangyari. In fact, meron ng mga nirecommend ng ICI, ng mga pangalan. Today, sinama na sila Chis Escudero.
Oo nga, si Grace po.
Villar, Mansi Binay, etc. So, kung yan ay makikilusan sa lalong madaling panahon ng Ombudsman o ng DOJ at makakapagsampa na ng kaso sa Sandigan Bayan, tingin ko that's going to be a huge win. After lumabas yung unang batch, di ba, yung mga kongresistang pinangalanan.
So, Cheese is there. Pag nakulong yan, what will happen to the balance of power in the Senate? Interesting yun kasi there's also weekly threat of the minority getting the majority.
Well, ako tingin ko medyo yung minority na nasa alangan ngayon dahil bukod doon sa naka-pending na mga kaso doon sa ilang mga miyembro nila. Nakakapagtaka nga, nakaramihan ng mga may kaso nasa minority. Meron pa silang Bato de la Rosa na mamaya pag-uusapan natin na medyo naliligaw na konti.
Kailan ba ang recess ng Senado?
December something, hindi ako sigurado.
So do you see any threat of with this announcement na kakasuhan si Chi,
Ako, feeling ko, for the moment, mukhang secure
si Tito Soto.
Si Tito Soto. Kasi medyo nagtatamay nga. Madami dun sa minority ngayon medyo out of circulation
So what now is gonna happen to the rallies? Ano bang
Ayun nga.
moving forward?
Yun nga. Ako, ang sense ko, yung impatience at yung paghihintay, medyo nagbi-build up na talaga yan. Pero,
Build up to what?
nagbi-build up to, kailangan yung mangyari ngayong December, basically. Kung walang mangyayari ngayong December, tingin ko, baka magkaroon ng mas malaking pagkilos iliya pagdating ng January. Ay, alam mo naman, EL, di ba? Pag December, medyo lahat ng tao nawawala ng ganang lumabas sa kalsada.
Partly. And di ba parati yung pag-aalsa? February.
Di ba? Kasi yun na yung naubos mo na yung Christmas bonus mo, tapos gutom ka na, tapos paltak pa gobyerno. Tama
Kulang
na, di ba?
Oo. So kulang pala yung 500
Mag-edsa na tayo.
Oo. So but anyway, so either we're satisfied or we get more mad.
Yeah. Pero one thing na gusto kong i-highlight lang doon sa mga nakausap ko, mukhang walang, at least doon sa rally sa PPM, walang kumakagat doon sa tinutulak ng kampo ni VP Sara Duterte na palitan ang presidente at siya ang paupuin.
But do you notice also, wala na yung call for withdrawal of support this time around?
Medyo mahina nga.
What would account for that?
Ako tingin ko, karamihan kasi ng tao are not so much concerned na palitan si BBM at this point. Tingin ko, ang sentimiento ng karamihan, hayaan mo nang siya dyan, pero kailangan meron siyang gawin.
But remember, the first time it happened, September 21, there was really an attempt to convince the military to withdraw their support from the president, di ba?
Oo.
But this time, I think what they saw, and then after that, the Iglesia ni Cristo rally, the UPI
Tsaka,
rally.
very, very clear yung messages yung mga nasalita, including si Cardinal David. Diba? Ang sinabi niya doon, we're not supporting yung idea ng resign all o yung withdrawal of support. We want to stick with yung constitution.
Let's discuss the role of the church this time around. Did the church find its prophetic voice in last Sunday?
Ako tingin ko it continued to actually exercise yung moral authority which it first displayed during September 21. Kasi more than just being a political issue, yung usapin ng corruption is a moral issue Kasi meron talagang aspeto ng, 'di ba, malawakang hindi pagnanakaw, pandarambong, 'di ba, ng pera ng taong bayan na ang epekto kitang-kita tuwing umuulan ng malakas, baha, tuwing bumabagyo, kulang ng mga facilities para masalba yung mga tao, 'di ba? So ako, yun yung clarity ng moral leadership na napapakita ng simbahan dito sa panahon na ito.
I watched your interview with Father Robert Reyes,
Father Robert.
and he was describing the difference between the church when he was younger and the church as now. Ang sinabi niya doon, very, very clear sa akin, tumatak yun na nung panahon niya, nung bata pa siya, the order was from the top down. So they can't move unless the church
Yung
gives them the
bishop
talking
ang
points.
magbibigay.
This time around, parang bottom up na ba? Parang ang impression ko,
Hindi naman bottom up, pero feeling ko, ang sinasabi niya, mas merong
autonomy.
room for initiative mula sa mga parishes.
So maybe the change na, and now you see again more priests coming out sa rallies, di ba? The September 21 had so many priests coming out, no? So maybe the shift in attitude, instead of waiting for the leaders to say and lead, they are now there's more room for creativity among the priests, no? So that might also be a factor in the church regaining their prophetic voice.
Ako tingin ko, tama naman yun, di ba? And the whole plan o yung idea behind itong latest itong November 30 na rallies is to actually decentralize. Let people stay where they are, di ba? Kung nasa probinsya yan, kung nasa ibang city yan outside of Metro Manila, at doon sila magpakita ng kanilang pakikiisa sa pagkilos na ito.
And this is more of a political approach or analysis to the way the church moved. Do you think that the Catholic Church moved, the way they moved this time around, is in response or as a countervailing power to the Iglesia ni Cristo? Because there was a show of force of the Iglesia ni Cristo, and truly they can command and command a huge crowd. Was there a conscious or at the very least an attempt to tell them we are your countervailing force?
Hindi ko alam, actually. Although, kung ako yung isa sa mga organizers, that would certainly be on my mind. Diba? But, I think na yung naging approach nila, which is, let's decentralize this, let's have more mobilizations in more places rather than just converging sa isang lugar. I think it's a response na may pagka-judo eh.
Right.
Hindi mo tinapatan ng sabayang, ganito kadami, ganito kami kadami. Pero pinapakita na sa lawak at sa, di ba, sa lakas ng initiative, I suppose, kaya namin kayong sabayan.
Or maybe also the laity is also finding its voice. Kasi parang, Iglesia ni Cristo is what? The total population, adherence is around 3 to 5 million, no? So we're more than that.
Yeah.
Pero you don't expect the Catholic adherents to be more. Pag tinawag ng simbahan, hindi sila masyadong lumalabas. But this time around,
Oo.
parang merong hopefully the laity is also energized.
Ako, hindi lang sa laity eh. Ang daming nakita ko doon, mga pamilya with their kids na nagpupunta, mga estudyante. So, talagang parang cross-section ng lipunan.
It's the same thing that I saw when I attended the EDSA 1 rally. Pamilya yung pumupunta.
EDSA 1, talaga.
Oh, EDSA 1. Alangan, may EDSA 0.
Hindi, pero tagal na nun. Oo, tama. May ganong sentiment. Pero, gaya nga sasabi ko, one clear thing na talagang nag-stand out sa akin kasi ang dami kong kinausap. Lagi ang sinasabi nila, hindi kami sumusuporta na si Sara Duterte ang pumalit. Tapos pag kinanong mo bakit, corrupt din naman eh. Yun yung kasi, kung ang problema, korupsyon, bakit yung ilalagay mo, mas corrupt pa? Parang ganun yung prevailing sentiment.
Si Senator Trillanes said he was asked by Christian Esguerra, bakit daw ayaw kay Sara? Number 1, pro-China. Number 2, unstable. Yun ang sabi ni Senator Trillanes. But there are very common yung talagang pro-China was very, very clear.
Sa kwento niya.
Even I interviewed Colonel Curubin, asking him the sentiment of the active service. No? And at the end of the interview, Pinky Webb was able to corner him and let him admit talagang issue sa kanila. May resistance ang active service kay Sara because of her pro-China stance.
Okay. Ako, sa mga taong nakakausap ko, corruption yung major issue. And hindi surprising kasi corruption yung pinunta nila doon sa trillion
And it
peso
doesn't matter to
march.
them that the fact that the amount of money, alleged corruption of Sara was a lot smaller than this whole flood control scam.
Well, ang kasi dito is when you are responsible for this amount of corruption na lumabas, ang tanong dyan, ano pa yung ibang lalabas dyan? Diba? Parang ganun yun. Kasi, halimbawa, ito, we all know about 125 million pesos in confidential funds na inubos in 11 days. But more recently, this day lang, may lumabas na naman na may mga ginrant ang OVP under Sara Duterte na mga business loans, I think,
right,
or support for businesses na hindi dumaan sa clearances from DTI and PDIC na para i-validate yung viability ng mga business plans ng mga popondohan. Di ba napaka-basic na requirement? So, may finlag yun ng COA. Meron pa lumabas na na-acquire ng mga overpriced na mga kagabitan. CCTV system, CCTV camera na 200,000 yata yung halaga, laptop na 300,000, mga ganon. So, madaming question mark na lumalabas dito kay VP Sara in the agencies that she has actually led. Diba? OVP and DepEd. DepEd, meron din dyan. So, yung duda na paano pag itong taong ito ang ilagay mo sa Malacanang, baka mamaya yung scale dahil lang nasa mas maliit yung ehensyang hinahawakan niya. Pag nalagay yan sa mas malaki ang puder, mas malaki yung saklaw, ganito rin ang makikita natin. Eto, dagdag ko. Tingin ko hindi nakakatulong yung ang mga dumidikit sa kanya, yung mga taong under the gun. Yung mga, sila Chis Escudero, sila Joel Villanueva, sila Jingo Estrada, na, innocent until proven guilty, sure. Pero lahat sila mukhang implicated ng mga iba't ibang mga testigo and apparently mukhang kakasuhan in the near future. And all of them seem to be flocking to the banner of Sara Duterte, which again raises questions sa paano pag naupo yung mga kakampi niya yung mga iniimbestigahan. Ano mangyayari sa mga investigasyon na yun?
I think for the ordinary Filipino, ano ang faithful sa Filipino?
Hindi tapat.
Hindi, tama.
Taksil.
Tapat. Ang sa attitude ng Pilipino, kung hindi ka tapat sa maliit na bagay, hindi ka rin magiging tapat sa malaking bagay. So, if you're not faithful in small things, how can I expect you to be faithful in big things? So, it's a scale. If the scale becomes bigger, the opportunity becomes lot larger. So, there is walang nothing to stop you from stealing. Eh. So, that's why sa Pilipino, merong ding agang-agam na itong Vice President, malitang mga kinukuha ngayon, does not mean hindi siya corrupt. It only means walang opportunity to steal bigger amounts. So that when you become president, when the opportunity presents itself, then you'll be like any other president who steals money.
Actually, yun nga yung pwede mo pang baligtarin yun eh. Kung diyan pa nga lang sa maliit na opisina, kaya mo na magnakaw ng ganyang kalaki.
Right.
Paano pa kaya pag bilyon na yung pondo ng iyong opisina? Diba?
So yun yung talagang isang, at least on the people who attended, people power. No?
Yeah. Pero eto, habang pinag-uusapan natin itong buong pupuntahan nitong corruption, nitong anti-corruption investigation.
But let that be a lesson to all of us. All of us who are going to vote and elect a new set of leaders in 2028. I think yung sinabi ni Barry would something be very, very relevant. No? If you cannot be faithful in small things, you cannot be faithful in big things. So let that be something that for us to consider as we begin to think of our new president, vice president, all new congressmen, senators in 2028.